You're on the Six Screens Network, earning the reputation of giving all the right ingredients, uninhibited, and exposing the hard, cold facts about the Watchtower Society. In Disney.
Well, hello once again, everyone, and welcome in to JW World News Sunday edition. Well, my name is Rick Farron. I am coming to you from the hub of the universe, right up here in Massachusetts. And I'll tell you what, tomorrow, guess what? Guess what? We got the eclipse. It's going to come right by New England. Now, it's going to be, we're going to have about an 80% chance of 80% totality, I guess they call it. It's not going to be a total eclipse of the sun, but it's going to be a partial eclipse. So we'll see 80% will be blacked out. So if that happens about 3 o'clock tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. And the people up here in New England are getting ready for it. And parts of New England, like up in northern New Hampshire, for example, they're going to have 100% eclipse. So that's going to be something to see. You know, they're really hyping it up. They're really making... well, I guess it is a big deal. It doesn't happen all that much. But I'll tell you what was even more of a bigger deal this week. The witnesses are still talking about it, was the earthquake. Did you feel the earthquake? Well, that was Friday afternoon. And actually, it was around, no, it was in the morning. It was about probably about 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. And I was getting ready for the news. I was getting some stuff written up, and I was sitting in my chair, and I had a cup of water on a table in front of me. And all of a sudden, the water started shaking. I said, that is weird. I thought somebody was moving some furniture in a condo downstairs, but nobody was out there moving furniture. So I said, that's weird. That might have been an earthquake. I never was in an earthquake. I mean, it wasn't anything drastic or anything, but it did. It was a weird feeling. I can just imagine, boy, if you were in a real high level earthquake, you would really, you'd really be in trouble. It would scare you to death. But anyways, did it scare the witnesses to death? Well, I wouldn't say it scared them, but they're going to use it as a propaganda tool. They're going to really tell everyone in the world that, don't you see what's happening? Don't you see that Matthew, the 24th chapter, is coming to fruition? There's earthquakes in one place after another. Now, this week, the witnesses got a special break. Yeah, they got a special break because there was a big earthquake in Taiwan. Now, that was a bad one, folks. People got killed over there, and our hearts go out for them. So they had the earthquake in Taiwan. I think that was on Tuesday or Monday. And then they had the earthquake in New Jersey. So that really gave the witnesses a mouthful. So I'm sure they were really out taking this crisis and running with it. And they were, according to what I understand here, some of the Facebook pages where Jehovah's Witnesses write, that's all you see being posted up, Matthew 24/7, earthquakes in one place after another. So they're really, they take advantage of all of this. I did too. I have to tell you, even myself, I did too, when something like that happens. And we all did it. We all used it as a tool to help us recruit people into the Jehovah's Witness cult. So I found that fascinating. And I realized that so many people have contacted me. They've said, Rick, I got calls from my relatives that are witnesses still. And did I feel the earthquake? And I better come back to the organization because this is a sign of the end. In fact, the PMOs, the loyal PMOs, the loyal PMEs, those who are still physically in and mentally in, you want to talk about people going nuts. I mean, the PMEs go nuts every time there's an earthquake, every time there's, I'll tell you, when I was a witness and the headlines would come out, peace and security. Maybe they're talking about peace and security in the Middle East. And boy, the witnesses they'd buy the paper, they'd bring it to the Kingdom Hall. I mean, some of them, if they were allowed to, they would have put it up on the information board. Peace and security. Look at the headlines. Friends, I'll tell you, every month there's an article or a headline in the paper that says peace and security. But the witnesses would take that one to the bank and cash it too. So I just wanted to bring that up. So don't be surprised if you're kind of a PMO you're still going to the meeting, so the witnesses are talking about it. But don't even be surprised. This might be an entrance point for the witnesses to talk to you if you're disfellowshipped. Now, we know there's new rulings on that, right? The witnesses really can now talk to you. No, not like in a long, drawn-out conversation, but they can have some. They prefer that you contact with a disfellowship one would be at the meeting. But I'm sure witnesses will at least say hi to someone in the grocery store, and maybe this will be the entry point. Did you hear about the earthquake? Oh, you better come back to the meetings. So that's probably true. That's probably true. All right, so let's take a look over here. The memorial. It was 2 weeks ago today. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. It's 2 weeks ago today that we were outside the Doubletree Convention Center. It's a hotel in Andover, Massachusetts. And we were standing out in front of it. I can't do 2 weeks. That doesn't seem like 2 weeks ago. It seems like last week, not even a week ago, but 2 weeks ago. But now all of a sudden, since the memorial, people are not going to the meeting as much. Now, I'm not reading more into this than I should. I got all kinds of notices and information I got yesterday concerning the memorial and then what took place for meetings after the memorial. First of all, I'm hearing that the memorial tanked. Now, the witnesses, the governing body is going to be really looking at this closely. They're going to scrutinize this to the highest order. That memorial was a bellwether. That they had to get as many as they possibly could. They had an all-out effort trying to get every single person back to that memorial, including disfellowship ones, everybody, relatives, friends, anybody that could walk or be put on a stretcher they brought in. So that's kind of fascinating to me. So they were hoping, the numbers still aren't out on how many went. So some troll was just writing that 20 million went. They could have, but if 20 million went, that was still a few million below last year. So only time will tell. But the meetings, from what I got coming in here to the 6 screens, since the memorial have tanked. People they've had it. They really have had enough of the governing body. They had enough of that memorial celebration where you go. Well, why would you go to the memorial? You can't partake. There's nothing in the Bible saying you're a respectful observer. Why would you even go to the memorial? It's a waste of time. I mean, it's not a waste of time if you would go and partake and at least be a real Christian. But really nobody partook. I would be willing to say the one I went to, nobody even partook. But I would be willing to say that partakers are going to be up this year. Now, there was 22,000 partakers last year. I'm just going to project something. I'm going to throw something on the table. I believe there'll be 25,000 to 26,000 this year. Okay. We did have someone on there. Does someone want to come on? I hear someone kind of wants to come in. If you want to, go ahead. If you want to speak up, go ahead. It's *6. I guess not. Okay, so Jehovah's Witnesses, if you go to a meeting today, and I still have a lot of friends that are PMOs, and they write to me and send me emails and what have you. But we know that if you go to a Jehovah's Witness today meeting, you're going to find older people, lots of older people. But the thing is, many of them are dying off. And then also the young ones are leaving. So what future does the Watchtower have? When you think about it, if you're going to have a product, you have to have people who are going to at least accept it. In this case, we have a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses. They're baby boomers like me. I mean, I'm not a witness, but if I still was, I'd be in there as a baby boomer. And a good many of them are baby boomers. There might not be much hope for them. So they're dying off one by one. And then we got the younger people. They're leaving like crazy. So what you have here is a dying organization. How else would you look at it? They have to change. That's one of the reasons why all the changes are being made. How are you going to attract people to an organization that's going to make you, excuse me, how are you going to attract people to an organization where they have to go out and report time to you? Get rid of that, which they did. How are you going to attract some of these younger men and even older men that have beards? Well, you can't have a beard. You're going to have to shave your beard if you want to be a witness. How are they going to get someone like that? And how are they going to get a woman to want to be part of the Jehovah's Witness religion with them really dictating what you can wear, what you can't wear? That's it's over for the one. Oh, yes.
Hey, Joey.
Yes, Joey.
I commented a little bit on this last night, but and I like the expression, and I think you picked up on it too. But this in my point of view, this is a rolling 75, and what I mean by that is, well, old timers. You know, I'll call myself an old timer. I vaguely remember. I remember the ambiance through that 75 era. Okay, but that was a one-time shot. That was one time. When that didn't come through, then 4 or 5 years, then everything started picking back up again. Okay, now Watchtower, they can't even. You know, I talked about them. They can't even take a step without stepping in it. They can't even open the front door without it rolling in. It doesn't matter. Whatever thing they do, there's a reaction to it. You're going to have some people that'll double down, and then you'll have some people that'll wake up. That's where they're at right now. So that's why it's a rolling 75, because everything they do is waking up people, or it's causing people to double down.
Well, there you go. I mean, 1975 did do it, and they rolled that one in, and many people really bought into it. And when 1975 came and no Armageddon, well, only 250,000 people left. I mean, it was a big drop-off, I like the term. Thank you, Chewy. Rolling 1975. Thank you, Chewy. All right, we do have another one coming on. Did we have, is it 940? Does 940 want to say something? Go ahead, 940. You're on with us.
Yes, Rick, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Real there, but call me Becky. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm now in North Central Texas. I've been to fellowship since, I'm a little hoarse. I've been to fellowship since 2003. Working my way out, never took another step in except for a few memorials with my daughter and grandchildren. Got tired of feeling completely wrong for not partaking. Every time I touch the plate, I'm sitting there thinking, you know, Jesus didn't tell us to remember passing an empty plate. He said, take, eat, take, drink. And when they were talking about the 7,000 year, you know, creative days, I'm like, do they really think that God doesn't have enough power to create everything in one day? It does say a morning, an evening, the first day, a morning, an evening, the second day. I don't know if the sun ever and the earth ever turned that slow. I have no idea. But I've, my family, can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, Becky. Yes.
Okay. I was raised a Catholic, until I was 7. Told them all they were blessed. I told the father, I don't know, Joseph or whatever his name was. I was in there with Mom. I had acted up in class because I spoke my mind. I was a very bad Catholic because I read my Bible. I was a very good JW because I didn't. But anyway, I pretty much called them in on some things that they just didn't know because I read my Bible. And I'm like, y'all are blasphemers, liars, and you're going to hell. I was 7 years old, stomped out of there, slammed a door. My mom came out behind me crying. I slammed another door because I said, y'all too, really projected my little voice real loud. Yeah, they loved me giving talks and answering and all that. I did really good. So, you know, I didn't have no problems. I had issues, but that comes with a lot of stories, Rick. a whole lot of stories. Do I remember 75? Yes. I remember researching the Watchtower information, the Finished Mysteries book, and everything with my mama on her bed with the picture of the pyramid and everything. 1914. But it didn't take till I really woke up, even though I said, okay, that's bullcrap. I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm telling you what my mind said. Nope. Thought about it 3 times. Ain't going to happen. Nope. Shovel it back. Throw it away. And anyway, what was the last thing I said, Rick?
Well, you were just saying that you keep shoving things back. I guess that would have been everything you were telling you, right?
Right. What they were saying when I got older and I was, deprogramming, because it's just deprogramming, throwing out the garbage, but you got to find it. That makes it hard. Deprogramming, and I'm like, what? What are they saying? What are they doing? This has nothing to do with what Jesus would do. Nothing. I never shunned anybody, Rick. I couldn't. And if a brother looked at me and twitched his finger and went at me, I'm like, I'm 6'1". I got heels on. I'm like 6'3", and I'm standing there, and my dad's an elder, but that didn't matter. I'm talking about me here. I looked at him and walked to him, and I said, don't look at me like I cannot do what I feel I must. When I need to hug somebody, when I need to touch them, I don't know, kind of like Anne-Marie. I don't know. I just kind of like feel when somebody's in a bad mood, even though they're smiling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean, you were one rough woman. You were a sis to be reckoned with,
Well, no, I was a gentle giant. Well, you know what? My brother, who's been out for a very long time, has nothing to do with the witnesses. We were talking the other day about family, and we were talking, and he said, but Becky, you've always been a peacemaker. And my whole heart just jumped. I cried, Rick. He goes, what's wrong? I said, that is probably the best compliment anybody's ever given me in my entire life. And he goes, why? I said, it's written, blessed are the peacemakers. And he goes, oh, that's right, it does. And I'm like, thank you. He goes, well, and I said, just say you're welcome and walk away. It was my brother, so yeah. We're a year apart, so that's us. But it's just, I had the right to remain silent, but I really rarely wasn't. I was from a family of 9, number 8. 4 girls and 3 boys and 2 girls. I was number 8. So I was the oldest girl when the youngest of the older girls left the house. So I had a lot on me, but I was pleased with pleasing others. And because I never wanted to make a conflict within my family or them even conflict with themselves. So I couldn't understand the conflicts that were going on around me. When I was 17, my dad was just an elder. Probably 16 and a half, I would say. Yeah, probably then. I remember he brought home a book that was a big blue book, dark blue. Wasn't paper. It was leatherback back then, but it was only for the elders, correct?
You're talking about the Shepherd book?
Yeah, Shepherd and the Flock.
Right.
It was leather and blue. It was blue.
Right.
I can see it in my head.
That's right.
Well, I saw him carry it in, and me, growing up and stuff, I was a reader. I read the dictionary. We had a set of library of encyclopedias, read those and thesaurus and all kinds of stuff, crazy Mensa stuff, in my head. But anyway, at the time, he took it in there, and I was just laying in my bed with the door open because it was hot, and I could hear through my closet after about an hour, because he always prayed with Mom before he went to bed. But Mom would always, I don't think, Rick, there was any night she was not on her knees bawling and praying. She was a regular pioneer for as long as I knew, from the get-go. And yes, I was on the steps. But let me finish telling you about that. Unless somebody else needs to step in. I'm not.
I'd like to. This is in the news, Becky. But boy, I really like your story. Would you be able to come in, say, in 2 weeks from today, and we have a program where you get to tell your whole story. You can have a whole hour.
Oh, okay.
Can you?
I always get to watch Saturdays on Sunday.
Yeah, no. In fact, if you come in 2 weeks on a Sunday at 2:00 our time, you're in Texas, but Eastern time, 2:00. Boy, we'll let you come on, and you can go for an hour. We just did that program, and
no. I would have to step back, brother. I would have to step back. Oh, by the way, we do in my home. I don't have a JW mate. He's wonderful though, and very supportive of me. He helps me be okay in the kitchen. I had a couple of seizures and a mini stroke about 4 years ago, and kind of broke my arm, messed me up, but I'm good. Anyway, let's see. I just have a little tiny bit of short-term memory loss where I can't catch my thought. Anybody's willing to step in and help me catch.
Oh yeah, no, okay, no. What I want to say. In fact, I'll tell you. You said something a while ago that kind of resonated with me. I like what you said.
The book, the Shepherding the Flock book. I've got to tell you what I heard my dad say.
What did he say?
All I heard was he goes, "I can't do this." And I heard my mom go, "What?" And he said, "Marjan." Oh, he said, "I can't do this. How do they expect me to do these things to people I care about?" And then she said, called him by name and said, "Shh, you need to read this somewhere else," or. And then she was on her knees praying again, crying. My mother cried. Anyway, yeah, she was a regular pioneer.
Yeah, well, what do Becky? What I like to do?
We'll do this. We'll talk some other time.
Yeah, let's
can I stick around?
Yeah, stick around. Let's stick around. Listen. Of course you can. Of course you can. Absolutely. But what I'd like to get you on and tell you your story. But you said something that I liked. I liked the thought that you brought out. You said that you were a good Jehovah's Witness because you didn't read the Bible. I like that. I might use.
Yeah, and you know what it takes? It's just like the scripture says, that you have knowledge God gave you, but if you don't have humility, you don't have that knowledge anymore.
Amen to that.
So I had all of this knowledge that made me walk out from a demon and step into a fire with my family with, 8, 10 more that were then 70, 71. And got stories to tell you about the 75 thing too.
You're gonna get up in 2 weeks. Just dial the same number. 2 weeks, 2:00. You could come in. We'll hear the whole story. Thank you. But no, Becky, thank you. I know we all have a story, and we say, "Man, I want to go on." But this is the news, so we have a place for you. Okay, we have a special place for you. Thank you, Becky.
Oh, I know. I'm good. I've got a lot of friends.
Thank you.
I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
just going to stick around.
Well, stick around, hang around, hang out with us. Well, thank you, Becky, thank you. All right, well, that's Becky out there in Texas, and she listens into the six screens. So, we are seeing some very unusual things taking place in the Watchtower. I mean, you guys, I'm preaching to the choir sometimes here. I know it's going to be very, very difficult for all the witnesses today to be able to accept everything this corrupt organization is throwing at them. The only thing that's keeping people in this organization, I said it last night, I'll say it again. The only thing that's keeping them in, even though, like even Becky, she had questions about the scriptures and the Bible. She didn't believe what they were saying. So it's not even a biblical thing that's keeping them in. The thing that keeps the witnesses in is their fear of men, their fear of what others will think of them, and the fear of them being shunned. That's it, period. Other than that, there's no reason to stay in the Jehovah's Witness religion. Deep down, Jehovah's Witnesses, they really don't believe it. They don't. And the young people in the organization, they're becoming more rare and more rare. It's just depressing for anyone who would be a young person. In fact, being anyone in the Watchtower today would be totally depressing when you think about it. And the reason why I even say this, if you're a young person and you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses, well, what is there for you in the Jehovah's Witness religion? I mean, even your friends. Suppose you go to a Kingdom Hall, and suppose you're a young man, and you're getting 16, 17, 18 years old, and you're saying, gee, I would like to find a sister that I could like and have a girlfriend. Well, there's such a small pool of people to pick from. You have a limited choice of people. And so this creates a problem. And even when it comes to friends, even if you're not looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend, even just find friends. You can say, I don't really connect with any of these. But, that's not what happens in the real world. In the real world, if you're going to a regular, real Christian church, or even if you're just a secular person and don't attend church, you can widen your friendship out. You can get out in the field, so to speak, and then find someone that's compatible. But how does a witness find someone compatible when they have a limited choice? So your life, listen, if you're a Jehovah's Witness listening in today, and a young one especially, you are destined for depression if you stay in this organization. Their ministry doesn't bring them any joy. Now stop and think about it. When you were one of Jehovah's Witnesses, did the ministry bring you joy? Can you honestly say, oh, great, honey. Come on, kids. Let's get in the car. Let's go to the Kingdom Hall. We're going out in the ministry. Can you honestly say that happened? I can't. I mean, I went out. I tolerated it. Some people kind of like it a little more than others. I wouldn't say that I liked it, but I mean, I did it. I thought that I was really bringing people to Jehovah. I thought I was bringing them into the so-called truth. And, maybe at the end of the day, I remember leaving service to say, well, I did something for Jehovah today. But do you have to do something for Jehovah? Does God really want you to, okay, God, here's my little token of appreciation today? No, he's going to accept you as you are. That's how normal Christians understand it. Jehovah's Witnesses is a work-based organization. You have to work to get salvation. That's not true. It's not true at all. So there's no point of view, if you're Jehovah's Witness, staying in this organization. I would say that there's nothing there for you. Absolutely zero. I can't think, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say, I can't think of anything good about the Jehovah's Witness organization. There's a few things I've mentioned on our programs before. There's a few things I would say that could be halfway good, I suppose. I think the ministry school is a good thing, teaching people how to talk and be a speaker. That's a good thing. There's a few other things. Does anyone out there know of anything good in the Jehovah's Witness religion that you'd like to share with us? Anything at all? Hit star 6. Yeah, go ahead. You're on with us.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Who is this? Is this you, Dick?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let the other person go. But a couple of things that I thought were good is, at least for me, I was a cigarette smoker and a marijuana smoker, and I gave them up. And you're right about the ministry school. That was my first opportunity to do any public speaking, so that was an advantage. But that's all I can think of.
Well, that's okay. I agree with that. Okay, we go to Michigan. Let's go to Michigan. What do you think, Mike? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, Rick, I thought it was good that, especially Tight Pants Tony brought this out. He didn't like the LGBT plus community, so that was good.
Yeah. You always have to come in with some crazy comment.
I gotta ask you a question, Rick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I brought it up yesterday. Okay, I don't want to get off subject, but when I brought up yesterday about the Biden and his declaration about the transgender day of visibility, I got the feeling you didn't really appreciate that. I don't want to be too critical, but I'm just saying I got the feeling you seem a little, nervous. I was going to ask you, like, are you afraid of the Alphabet Mafia? Like, could they, if I bring up something like that, could they, like, kick you off YouTube or something like that?
No, that has nothing to do with that. In other words, what this is, and I think you understand it, this is a program about Jehovah's Witnesses. It's not a political program. I know you like political programs, but, this isn't Fox.
Not political, per se. But, yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't. Why would I want to make... I have my own feelings on that, and pretty much in sync with yours. But I'm not going to get on this broadcast and become a political, because we have.
I understand, Rick. Well, the reason I brought that up, you were talking in the program, you were bringing out about, like yesterday, you were bringing out about, the way the world is. Are we in the time of the end? I mean, to me, that's a pretty good sign right there that we're in the time of the end. In my opinion.
Well, there's many things I would like to, and I want you to know I'm not always against you, but there's just certain things I can't. I don't want to come out here and be politically slanted, and listen to him.
I'm not. That's not politics. I'm just saying. I just look at the morality of it. I mean, the morality of the world, well, especially in the Western nations, is pretty bad. I'm not political. It's just, I mean, they're literally arguing whether or not a man can have a baby or not. I mean, that's not political.
Well, we could talk about that all day. You know that. It's that subject could go on and on and on and on and on, and there'll always be two sides to the story. I mean, like I mentioned last night, there are people that are born with kind of things not going right down below.
That's pretty rare, Rick. That's very extremely rare.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next caller. Let's go. All right, let's go. I think that's Susan. Is that my wife on here? I think so.
That is.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Is Mike done?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wanted to mention that as far as the Bible goes, the scriptures that they did look up consistently, I remember them. So a lot of what I know about the Bible today is because of what I learned from Jehovah's Witnesses. And, they didn't get everything wrong. Plus the moral standards, they taught morality, which is not really taught today, even in a lot of churches. So I appreciate the moral stance they gave me, a moral compass, let's call it that, and then the scriptures. So I think that they helped me learn the scriptures.
I knew you were going to say that, Susan. I really did. And in fact, that's something that it's true. A lot of us listening to this program, folks, and we'll have to admit, even though I'm not a Watchtower fan, I know they teach falsehood, but, we did learn scriptures. We learned there were 66 books in the Bible. We learned how to find a Bible book. Most people today, you hand them a Bible, even staunch Christians, you hand them a Bible. Could you go look up 1 Corinthians? They wouldn't even know where to look. You'll be looking in the old, not all. I mean, there's many that's very sharp Christians, but a lot of people today, they couldn't even find a Bible book if their life depended on it. So the witnesses at least helped us find Bible books. I don't think they didn't give us any truth, but they helped us find the Bible books. Thank you, Susan. All right, we got time for
I do think too. I was talking about the moral compass, and one of my favorite chapters is Romans chapter 1. So if you want to know what kind of a moral compass the Bible wants you to have, Romans chapter 1, I always turn to that chapter.
That's a good one. I had forgotten about that, Susan. Thank you.
Is that you, Becky?
Oh yeah.
I can always tell that Texas sound.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes it comes out of me, and I say, "Hey, y'all," but I don't know. I had French grandparents down over by Houston stuff.
Well,
Louisiana, hello.
Well, I can tell you're a strong woman. Now I want you to come on in 2 weeks. I want.
No. Now,
I want you
I
to.
understand, but I want to tell Susan that I really, truly appreciate her when she comes in. I've been watching y'all for a long time. Linda too, Fran and Joe. I got Fran's number on my phone, but I haven't had the guts to call her yet. I don't want to take up her time. I know how busy she is. So y'all go ahead. I just heard Susan, and I just wanted to let her know.
Well, thank you. She appreciates that. No, she really does, and she's coming
Thank
back.
you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome, honey. You're welcome, honey.
There you
Oh,
go.
I'm gonna have to let Grace. I think it's Gracie. She don't like being called hun. I'm gonna have to ask her to forgive me before I even speak. I know.
All right.
I know.
All right. Well, we're trying to get you back.
You guys have fun.
Thank you,
I'm
Becky.
listening.
Thank you, Becky. All right. Well, we're gonna go. Well, the next program you might like the next program coming up, Becky.
I always watch. I'm watching them, Rick.
All right. It's just the Christian Court. Yeah. All right. Well,
I've seen them.
hang in with us.
Thanks.
All right.
Oh, I was going to tell Susan I have learned so much from them also. I didn't mean I lost my teachings of the Bible. They helped me. I was a good speaker anyway. They made me better, got me good jobs. So I have a lot to thank them for. But I'm not the one judging them. So I'm not angry. I was there standing there, Rick.
Yeah.
So y'all go ahead. And I'm going to sit and listen.
Excellent. Well, in fact, I'm just looking here. We're trying to get our speakers on, and the scholars. I might not have sent them. I'm just going to see if I sent them the link to the program. Jay, question. No, I didn't do that. So I'm going to do that right now. So just bear with me here. I have to send them a link so they can come on StreamYard. I forgot to do that. I get so interested in talking to Becky and some of the other people. I didn't do all my work here today. So give me a second and we'll get that up and running. We'll get a link to the court, which I can see right now. Let's get the number up here and we're going to copy that. And I'm just going to send this an email and that'll bring them right on. So just give us a second to get that done. And that would go to Jay. Yeah, I got to send them a message here that the program, they're waiting for a link to be able to come on. So they will get that right now. Let's do this link to court. Forgive me for being a little not on the ball with that today, but I got so involved in listening to the programs today. It was really unbelievable. I really enjoyed the program with Anne Marie, and I enjoyed having Becky come on. All right, let's send that off now, and then we'll work. All right. So, anyways, I'm so glad that we're starting to get more and more people come in on a Sunday afternoon. That makes my day. It really, really does. I'm glad to see that. I can see the numbers really increasing here. So that's a good thing, because normally on Saturday night, I mean, we get like, I would say sometimes we get 10 times, 20 times more people, but now we're starting to see more and more people come in on Sunday. Okay, we do have Scott there now. I do see him there. I'm going to just bring him on. Hello, Scott. Yeah, we had a little problem there at first, but we're going to be all set. You hang in. I see Jay. I didn't send you the link. I got so involved in the program today, I didn't send you the link. So I see Jay as well. I'll be right back. Let me just close out the other program here we're on. All right, let's see if we can't do this. Friends, I want to thank you all for coming into JW World News Sunday edition. Thank you very much. Thank the people that spoke up on the program today. Now, don't leave us. We got the Christian Court coming up next. I know you'll find it very fascinating. So hang in there. Thank you for being with us this afternoon on JW World News. All right.